Okay, as there is a lack of YouTube videos on the settings for how to set up your ICOM-7000 to use JS8call and Winlink, I thought I would provide a video. So I've got my ICOM-7000 here. I am using a digirig. I'll go over that, and then we'll look at JS8call and Winlink settings. On the radio, the mode that you need to be in, which you can change here. It needs to be in USB. You're just going to hold it down when it's on lower sideband and change it to upper sideband. Make sure that you have that set. If you have any amp or preamps on, turn those all off. And then the only other settings we really need to focus on are going to be found by holding down this button here, and then we're going to come over to other. You have a lot of different functions you can change here. You'll scroll to menu setting 49. The CIV address needs to be set to 70. That is the default. If that has changed, you need to make sure that's changed back to 70. That's important with JS8call. The baud rate needs to be 9600, and your CIV transceive needs to be set off. And that's it for settings on the radio. The digirig, the way you're gonna connect it, you need to buy the CIV control version of this. Their website's pretty good, and it should guide you to the right cables that you need. But here's my digirig mobile. I've got a USB-C to USB-A cable going to my laptop. And then there are two cables here. They are color-coded. This one that says serial is gonna go into the back of my ICOM-7000 right here. And the one that is labeled audio is going to plug in right here in the second spot over, and that is the remote control jack for the radio. So coming over to the radio, let's look at JS8call settings that you're going to want to have set up. So let's pull up our JS8call. There's our default 40 meter frequency. Up here under File, you're gonna go to Settings. Now, there's a lot of settings you probably need to make sure you got set up. I'll just touch on one. Make sure that your audio is set to both microphone USB and output is speaker USB audio device. The radio is really where the magic happens. You're gonna make sure that you've selected the ICOM-7000, and then under rig options, here are my settings. So PTT method is RTS, port is COM4. I got that from my device manager. And your device manager, nope, wrong screen. I think I closed my device manager, hold on. In device manager, if you've got the driver installed correctly, you'll find something that looks like this. And this will tell me what port I'm using for my digirig. If you've got a question mark, then you need to install this driver. But once you got it installed, this is what it should look like. I'm just gonna really quick go to the port settings on that, and the data bits is 8, stop bits is 1. That's gonna be important here on the next page. So just remember that. Okay, mode is USB, split operation is fake it. Now we're gonna go over to our cat control and COM4 again, baud rate's 9600. We had that set on the radio, and there's your 8 and 1, your data bits and stop bits that we saw in the port settings. Those are the default settings for the digirig. Your handshake should be none. And those are your JS8call settings, and when you have that set up, then it will work. It does work. So I've been sending and getting acknowledgements. So that's JS8call. Okay, we're gonna close JS8call and go to Winlink. I'll just show you real quick the VAR HF settings that you need to have set. These are not super specific. So settings, your VAR setup needs to be like that. There's the check boxes I have on that page. And then on your sound card. Really the key here is that it's set also as USB audio as your input and USB audio as your output. So now mine says digirig. I relabeled mine under sound devices on my computer. I'm running Windows 11, so yours won't say that. Yours will just say something like USB audio device here. Okay, so those aren't super, I'm guessing you probably already have those set up correctly, but just wanted to show you those. Under WinLink Express, we're gonna open that up. You will have your own settings here. I'm not gonna go over these. You're gonna have to set up what you need to set up here. The real settings for your radio to make sure this works is you're gonna just open up a VAR HF WinLink session, and here these settings really matter. So don't worry about TNC setup, those are automatic. It's the radio setup. This is what you need. Now, I know I'm running an ICOM-7000, but just go ahead and select ICOM-7300 as the radio. Don't worry about the antenna selection. The ICOM address, there's that 70. Now in JS8call, we don't have there's no place to put 70. It just goes with what the default is for your radio. And so it knows that you're supposed to be a 7 since you're running an ICOM-7000. In WinLink, we don't have the ability to choose the ICOM-7000, but we can choose the correct address, and that's where the magic happens. So you set it to 70. You need to select USB digital, and then you don't want that box that says use radio internal sound card. You're going to uncheck that. On the 7300, it has an internal sound card, so that will be checked, but not on the 7000. And then these are the last settings you need to have. Again, the serial port we found out from our device manager was COM4. The baud rate, which we have set on the radio, is 9600. And then the PTT port optional, a serial port to use. I have mine set at ICOM-7300, and it's working just fine. So, so that's WinLink. I hope you guys that have had frustrations with the ICOM-7000 can be up and running on these two digital modes.